box? Who's in the box? What's in the box?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Monday. This is episode Blackjack, aka 21. My name is Bob. I am the news editor and lead critic at Total Toy Recon. We invite you once again, or for the first time, we welcome you to our basement toy block. So we are going through my collection. I'm organizing it. I'm emptying the tubs and things, the boxes that you see behind me. I'm trying to figure out where certain toys are, what survived being moved like 7 times in 10 years, what's worthwhile, what I have doubles of. I just went through 2 boxes of Black Series figures and started to realize that I have this guy, not a bad guy to have 5 times over, and this guy, not a bad guy to have 3 times over. However, when you get to how many of these guys can you have, Captain Rex Black Series figure, you start to wonder, well, I've got one to trade, I've got one to open, and I've got one to keep in the box. So, been stacking them up, starting to work through them. I actually pulled these 4 out because I was like, you know what? I got to count how many Royal Guards I have. I have the Emperor, only 1. I'm not going to take him out of the box, though, so maybe I'll just put the Emperor card around. So, we are working through the boxes slowly, and I can't really show you, but on that side of the room now, I've been able to pull out all the Christmas and Halloween decorations, move them over to this other side, and have actually been able to dive into boxes. I found baseball bobbleheads, which I figured was too boring for you guys to want to sit through, but a lot of baseball bobbleheads, and they're all from the Phillies, so I would say anywhere from 2007 to probably 2018, 2019. It's a lot of bobbleheads, because they usually do about 3 a year. Yeah, it's a lot of bobbleheads. And to think that one day I'm probably going to get them over again because I'll get all my dads. It's just a sad fact, but yep, it'll probably happen. So, as you can see, we got a big shiny thing right here on the top. Now, we do have a big box. Lots of cool stuff inside, I think, from what I can tell. But I wanted to show this off because this was stuck in a box with a bunch of clothes. And at one point, it was perfectly shiny. It did not have any scratches on it. But this is an episode 1 collection of Doug Chiang's artwork, and I thought this was kind of neat to start off with. So you actually open this up. I got this at Walden Books, if you can remember. And here it says episode 1. It had this fabulous one around it, and then it showed you all the artwork that was inside. And I guess we can pull some of them out here, but they're really in there. We're not going to do that. So I'll just hold it up. So basically, you got Ralph McQuarrie style artwork, but all done by Doug Chiang, who did a lot of art, who did almost all the concept artwork, almost all, for episode 1. So then you got all these great, I guess that's kind of like I'd say it's maybe like an 8 by like 14 or something. So this was a neat thing. I got this, believe it or not, for $1. No, I got it for like $3.99 at Walden Books when they were closing. So neat little thing. Cool Star Wars artwork. You know, episode 1 is obviously, is not my favorite of the films, but I love the artwork by Doug Chiang. I have his artwork book. I have like 2 or 3 extra books that he's done. So really good stuff, fun stuff. So let's get to the box. You came here to see toys. So this box is a Lowe's box, and we'll start small today. But this is a Star Wars box of figures that I repack. So this is assortment number 2, 69605.21. We got a shipping label on here. This is from September 4th, 1997, this box. So we'll go through that at the end, but let's dive into some of this bigger stuff here, because bigger stuff's always more fun. So, newspaper, this was packed September 3rd, 2010. So this has something in it. This is a Toys R Us bag. This is cool. All right, this is a little sun damage, but a little dusty, but the pilot's in there. Now we've done a couple of these before. This is the Ralph McQuarrie concept artwork toys that they did. So later they would do a bunch of figures, but Hasbro, running out of ideas, I don't know if say that, or maybe just in general thought it was a cool idea to start making Ralph McQuarrie's concept artwork into toys. This is a snow speeder. Has a little cannon on the bottom. The rocket does shoot. But this is what the original snow speeder concept artwork looked like. So I think I have all of these. We've done the speeder bike not too long ago, and there was a cloud car. So you do get a pilot, so a unique figure, and then this goes in here. So that's neat. I'm glad I found that again. And these little things, and I talk about this a lot on our show here, is that these were world-building toys to me. These were things that you could put in the background, that you could do a different story with, elements of surprise, lots of those like cool little moments that you can do for Star Wars that make Star Wars the big world in which it is. Let's put this over here until we get to a point where I can start putting this up. In case you can barely see it, I have foregone the mini tub of toys, loose toys that I have, and I've replaced it with a series of shelves that I found down here in the basement. So I've got bags, I've got loose figures, I've got movie baseball cards that I've been trying to find, RoboCop, Ghostbusters 2, E.T. I have an Alien one upstairs, but I love these wax packs. Here's Gremlins 2, a lot of sequels here. I love these wax packs. That was always awesome to me. I always took that over baseball cards because I knew the movie better than I knew who the players were. But here is a Jeffrey Toys R Us bag, a monster-sized one, if that. So collectible or trash can? Probably going to use it in the trash can. So let's open these here slowly. We've got more stuff that's in bags. Oh, here's a nice collection. And one of the guns. So this is... Oh, this is interesting. Okay, so... This is interesting. This is the Cantina Aliens. Now, these are obviously still in the box. However, because this toy is from 1998, so this toy is 22 years old. Right. Oh my God, it's 22 years old. 2000. It's 22 years old. The rubber bands that held a lot of their weapons or held the capes in place have rotted off. So if I do this, you can see that they're flapping around now in the box. So I could open it here on the side and fix it up. But these Cantina Aliens, we've got Libra, Nabrin, Leeds, and Tikal, who is the original Snaggletooth. Cool figures, definitely different. I'm sure I don't have the middle guy in any other capacity. So definitely going to have to open those up and work them into some sort of display. So, what else we got in here? Another piece of newspaper. We've got two big ships in here. Oh, this is another oddball Hasbro thing. I actually have a Walmart receipt bag in here. Hangers, utensils. Nothing here that says Star Wars. 5 items sold. Adult tea, utensils, silk tie, hangers. This is from October 2000, so that's when whatever this was in that bag. This is a unique and different Star Wars item. So they took a page from Kenner, like the Ralph McQuarrie ship, and they started creating other things that may have been in the comics or may have just been off camera. And one of those was the Cruise Missile Trooper. So the Trooper actually does not come out of there, but he's like in this like really cool like rocket ship, and you can dip his head up and down. It's just one of those weird oddball Star Wars toys. I've had it open, so I mean the box is there, but you kind of get a figure, but you don't because he's only from here up, and he doesn't come out of the pack. So out of the ship. So that's a different. Forgot I had that. That's a different Star Wars item. So let's get to. Now, today on Total Toy Recon's Instagram, we started Monster Monday, and we're going to feature monster toys every Monday, something different. The Rancor, and there are multiple Rancors, will probably fit into that sooner or later. But this is this was the first re-release of the Rancor, and still not rotting. This is the first re-release of the Rancor for the Power of the Force. Now, it comes with Luke. He has the bone, which is neat, and he's got a rubbery type feel to him that gives him that rubbery, scaly, lizard type thing, scale feel. So it's pretty neat. Now in this, they also released the Bantha for the Sand People. So Tatooine seems to be one of, if not the most flushed out world that you can build with Star Wars toys, which is great because, I mean, it was focused in Episode 1. I'm sorry, yeah, in Episode 1, Episode 4, Episode 6. So now you're able to actually, like, you could create that whole world. That is one of the main things that I want to do is create Tatooine. I want to do Mos Eisley Spaceport. I want to do Jabba's Palace. I want to do the Pit of Carkoon. I want to do all of those little things. Even Tashi Station, the Sandcrawler, all of it. And this is an essential piece. However, there's the original Kenner one, not nearly as big as this. So Hasbro really did up the ante when they re-released this. They made it more screen accurate, more to scale. The original one is cool, and I have it. But this one does have some really awesome features to it. Now, they would re-release this in a Black Series line with a whole extra stuff. Like, it was the 375 Black Series. But all this extra stuff you got, it was like a huge box. It was a Toys R Us exclusive. At least I think it was. That's where the only place I ever saw it. And then I think they re-released it again in between that and this. And then they released it with The Force Unleashed. There were characters that rode these. So it was all like painted up and had all kinds of weird tattoos and stuff. It was really different. It was neat. It's one of those oddball Star Wars toys you're not going to find. So I'm going to do some shout-outs. Hello, Gene. Nice to see you. Well, sort of. Loved your high school photo the other day. And MJ, what's going on? Rocking the show here today. Keeping the ball going. All right. So let's do... Now, this is the Star Wars TIE Bomber. Very dusty. So this is from Empire Strikes Back. So as you can see, it's an unusual box. You do get a TIE fighter pilot with it, and he's... Wow, believe it or not, he is loose. He's been banged around that much that he's ready to fall out of there. This is an interesting box. You don't see too many boxes like this, but it actually has cardboard that simulates when the TIE Bomber was doing its run to flush out Han Solo, Chewbacca, and Princess Leia when they were in the asteroid field. Very cool ship, very different. This was never made by Kenner back during the original Star Wars run. So when Hasbro released this, if you notice the box design, oh wow, it even has that on the bottom, bombers to show. It comes with little bombs. When they re-released this, they released it. They put this out during Attack of the Clones. So on the Attack of the Clones special opening night of toys and stuff, I went to a Walmart and there were guys with like computer printout sheets looking through boxes, wanted a certain box because they wanted certain figures. I'd never seen that before. Now it's just like standard. You swipe it on your phone, you know who's in this box, instantly by the numbers on the side. Amazing what the internet has done to toy collecting. However, I got an Obi-Wan and Anakin and this that night because somebody said, "Do you have the TIE Bombers?" And they said, "Yeah, they're right there." They already had them out, and this thing is fantastic. Just like the look of it, the feel of it. This is definitely going to get opened. This is just too cool of a ship. The pilot's already banging around, and this is a fantastic ship. We're going to put that back in the box for now. So this is my original Darth Vader action figure case. And I know it's the original for two reasons. That it's mine. It was mine when I was a kid. One, I put Darth Vader's name on his eye at one point. I don't know why I did that. But the sticker residue is still there. So this could use a nice bath. And I also put the Lucasfilm copyright right there on the back of the... It was an extra sticker. It was a sticker that was just made because it was in the package of all the names. But I put it there. So let's see if there's anybody in here. Feels like there is. And there is. So... by my guess, these are probably the best versions of these figures that I have. So here's a Hammerhead. It's stapled off. He's in a bag with a gun. Here's a Greedo. Great colors, great shapes. And I'll show you how many there are actually in here. So I'll hold it this way. Lots of figures in here. And then, because I was a kid, this was for the Empire Strikes Back, but when I got the C-3PO one, I started relabeling them with the C-3PO names. So that, again, proves that this was mine. There's a Vader in here, but he does not have his lightsaber. A really, really decent Tusken Raider, and he actually has his gaffy stick. He has great colors to him. It's a really decent figure. So here's my original Zuckuss. And he was a mail away. And then here's an original C-3PO, and he is in a Kenner bag, so he's in decent shape. My original one, man, he's beat to death, so there's no way I'm going to find it. So here's a really good AT-AT commander, and a slightly better bag is resealable. And some of these figures, I know they're not the ones I played with as a kid, because if they're in this collection, they're in slightly better shape, because I was hitting the flea markets, I was hitting the yard sales, and finding the best figures that I could to replace the ones that I had that had been played with, had been chewed on, had been, just in general had wear. So I was trying to find those replacements for those figures. Now, I'm going to bring this back here, here. Leave this box in place. Now, this is, what did I say, from 1997. So, where was I in 1997? I was in college, and I was hitting a Walmart almost on a weekly basis to try to find as many of these Star Wars figures as I could. Right off the bat, never been opened. She was in the box, so it was a surprise. So here is the speeder bike Leia. Same speeder bike that you got with the Biker Scout when they released this, but then they put Leia on it. So they got a special Leia. This has never been out of the pack, so this will not be opened. I'd love to start doing an eBay, what is the value of this? And this came out during the time as the T-16 Skyhopper and as the Darth Vader's TIE Fighter, both of which I have. I have not seen the Darth Vader TIE Fighter yet. So that's cool. Didn't think I still had, forgot I completely had that. So I try to do my best to wrap these all up. And what I did was literally would wrap these things to preserve them, so in case they ever got wet, keep the bugs off of them. They went into storage for a very long time. So these are some cool ones here. So here we have the first re-release of the Gamorrean Guard, and Hasbro has outdone themselves when they've re-released this figure, both in the vintage collection, it's amazing, as well as the Black Series figure. They've yet to re-release the 12-inch doll of him. It was the best 12-inch figure that they had released. However, this is a Bespin Han Solo, and as you can see, they were starting to slowly tone down the muscles on these guys and make them more realistic. It also made them easier to put into the ships. It seemed as if they were making the figures and not realizing, like, oh wait, we're using the old Kenner molds. These figures don't fit into the ship. So if you got the new Han in '95 when they released it, and the new Chewbacca, who basically looked like Bigfoot, they couldn't fit into the Falcon together, where the old ones fit in perfectly. It was wildly. It was just, nobody did their homework on that. I guess they just think we wouldn't notice, but a lot of the older collectors or collectors of people who were my age at the time went, you can't put these guys in here. So, two good ones here. We've got the Royal Guard. Nice crisp box. Nice. Same era as these two figures here. They're actually... And then, had to get Yak Face. And his name is actually Salmi Mari, or I'm not saying that right, but we call him Yak Face. And the neat thing about these cards, too, is that they started doing file card pictures on the back. So, a lot of these figures, you see these, this would change where they would add slides, or it would be a picture and not that sticker. I mean, Hasbro really just didn't have a clear-cut picture at the time of what they were going to do with each release. And then it would change and it would move around, and it would make it very difficult on collectors. So if they kept making the Emperor's Royal Guard, maybe he came with a 35mm slide the next time, within a year. So collectors would have to go out and buy another one, because maybe that was on purpose, so that we would buy another figure. Okay, lots of these back to back packed 2-packs. Wow. That's a lot. All right, I'm going to say hi to Jim. What's going on, Jimmy? And my friend over in England, Matt Booker. What's up, man? And then... Oh, the missus is watching upstairs. That's nice of her. Okay, that's really good. I really tied that off into a good knot. All right, here we go. 2 more. So here's EBD9. He's in Jabba's palace. This figure I never had as a kid. I still don't think I have him, actually. And then here is the first re-release of the Snowtrooper. Another solid figure. And see that so I kept them in the bags. The colors didn't fade. These guys weren't. They were probably on display for a little bit because I was buying so many of these at the time. I would just move them back in, repack them like this, and then these would keep them safe and sharp. So that's what I was doing at the time. All right, last 2-pack. I do have a loose Vader card. I probably bought another Vader somewhere down the road. When I was in college, my roommate and I, who was a big wrestling fan, so he would buy wrestling toys, I would buy Star Wars toys. We never were in competition with each other, which was a great way to go toy hunting. Don't be in competition with people who like the exact same thing. Don't go toy hunting with people who like the exact same thing you do, because you just creates fights. So at Total Toy Recon, MJ is very much into the DC Multiverse and Ghostbusters and those kind of figures. And every once in a while we have an overlap and we help each other out. But he's not looking for the same Star Wars Black Series figures or vintage collection that I am. So it's a nice way to help out. And it's there's no hostility. It's no volatile atmosphere amongst collectors, which is a good thing to do. All right, so 2 more from this line. We have 9 Nub. Awesome figure. I really wish I would have come up with one that was different colored. And then we have Malakili. He is the Rancor keeper. So that figure should be going with that guy. This is the guy that should come with the Rancor. And everybody's been lately asking for a Black Series figure of him or a re-release vintage collection figure of him. I watched it on a show called Bosk's Bounty the other day, and apparently that is a figure that this is a figure a lot of people want in the vintage collection. I think I have 3 or 4 of the original, and it's nice to actually have one of those. So I'm going to post pictures of all of these on our Instagram today, so please check that out. We have the top. It's a very Star Wars day here. We have the top 10 coolest Lando Calrissian figures up on our site right now, so you definitely want to check that out. Thank you for tuning in. A relatively short episode, but if you can tell, think this stack here got higher. We added horror figures and video games to this now, so we're able to actually bring more things to you. Once I start going that way, we're really going to have to change the set. I hit a lot of boxes that were just, magazines and comic books. I found a full shoebox full of weird comic books. I don't know how they got grouped together, but they are there. And Star Wars Insider magazines, tons of those. So, thank you for tuning in. Again, this is Bob at Total Toy Recon. We post this on our Instagram, a link to it. We repost it on YouTube. You can watch them all on YouTube if you'd like. And please stay safe out there. Only go out if you have to. And if you do, wear a mask. Especially maybe this one.